Hello and welcome to Seroptimus International of Nevada's Sounding Board. I'm Renee Roberts and I'll be your moderator. If you're a new mom or you have young children, I think you'll be really interested in this program tonight. We'll be talking about ways that you can have support and build community for yourself during this really challenging time of your life. My guests tonight are Ozzy Asquevilla. She is the founder and president of Marin Alternative Mothers Group, and Alicia Willoughby, who is a member of the board of the Alternative Mothers Group. Hello and welcome to you both, and thanks for coming.
Thank you for inviting us.
Ozzy, I'd like to start with you. Could you tell us what the Alternative Mothers Group is?
Alternative Mothers Group is a community of like-minded families that share the same views, mainly non-mainstream views about birth, parenting, health, lifestyle. So,
Ozzy, can you tell me how it got started?
Yeah, it was about 2.5 years ago. My son was 3 or 4 months old, and I was a new mom and had pretty bad postpartum depression. I was feeling really alone and isolated. And I went looking for some support and joined some other local mothers groups. And I ended up feeling more isolated because my parenting and birthing views were kind of non-conventional, non-mainstream. And I just wasn't feeling the support, and some of the comments weren't very supportive. So I just needed to find a group of women that had the same views as me.
Yes.
And I didn't know where to find that. I couldn't find it. I couldn't find a mother's group like AMG. So Alicia and I connected actually, and we talked about it, and it kind of just happened from there.
And so, Alicia, how did you and Ozzy find each other?
So we met because we had the same home birth midwife, and we met when my daughter was 5 weeks old. We both lived close to one another and contacted each other, and in our first meeting started talking about how we both felt these same things that Ozzy mentioned. We both felt isolated in our choice to have home births. We both felt alone in the decisions that we wanted to make as being parents, and Ozzy had this idea that, you know, what if we created a mother's group for moms like us that felt the same way? And we threw around some ideas, and the next morning I got an email from her, and she had created a website, and she was ready, you know, to really run with this idea.
Wow, that's great. So, I mean, what kind of challenges does motherhood present to you that this group would help with?
For me, I felt really alone. You know, being a new mom, regardless of what choices you make, you are fumbling through all these really big decisions that you have to make. I thought those decisions were going to stop after the choice of how I was going to birth, but they just kept coming, and I didn't have any resources or people to turn to. So the group provides me and our members with other parents that can help us we feed off of each other. We learn a lot of things from each other. We are really supportive. It's a very non-judgmental community where you can, talk about some difficulties that you're having and get advice from other moms and not feel judged about the decisions that you're going to make.
So, Ozzy, what does it mean to be an alternative mother?
I think being an alternative mother means something different to everybody. I think mainly what it means is that you are parenting consciously. You're making decisions, trying to research them outside of the doctor's office, outside of the OB's office, and really trying to do what's best for your family.
I think you know if you're an alternative mother.
Yeah.
I think we can't tell somebody that they are, and we can't give you a recipe, you know, that someone has to follow these same things to be an alternative mother. I think you know it if
Right.
you are, because you feel that when you're in the community and when you're with other moms. You feel different. You feel like, whoa, I just said something and they're
People
looking
are
at me weird, and they're not having the same conversations that I want to do, you know, want to talk about. I think all of our members do things a little bit differently. There isn't one cookbook recipe for us, but we all make decisions that are a little bit different than the mainstream, and we all really research all of our decisions so that we feel really confident. We're saying, I'm choosing this for my family because this is what I believe, not because someone else told me I should do this for my family.
And those choices vary from member to member. I mean, Alicia and I have made different parenting choices, but we have a lot of respect for each other because we know that we've made those decisions consciously.
So you don't all have to prescribe to the same philosophy about, for instance, vaccinations or
Right.
sleeping.
Right.
Or birthing.
Or-
I mean,
or
we both had
birthing.
home births, but not all of our members did. You know, we have,
Yeah.
I think, we really talk about it's the intention. You know, we hope to have a community where everyone intended to have a birth that was natural, or you know, the best that they could do under their circumstances. Things happen,
Yeah.
you know. So we all had different births, and we all do different things with vaccinations, sleeping arrangements, family arrangements, but we're all doing it consciously and with a lot of support.
Yeah.
How is your group different from other mothers group that would meet? You know, what's the difference? I mean, if I were a young mother checking you out, what would I find that was different about your group than another one? A more mainstream.
Yeah, it's partly hard to put that in words for me because it's just a feeling that you get when you're around mothers that accept your choices and don't judge you for them or don't roll your eyes or think you're weird. I also think we're different because we're not a mother's group by area. We're a group of women that hold the same values or similar values, and we also have a mission. You know, we want to grow. We want to reach cities all over the U.S. and I think that mothers groups other mothers groups tend to be just by area and.
Yeah, when I first had my daughter, it was, oh, okay, what's the local mothers group? So I was meeting people that lived in my neighborhood, but that doesn't mean that they thought the same ways that I did, and I wasn't getting anything out of them. But the alternative mothers group is people are looking for a mothers group to be around people that think like they do and don't judge them. I think that's a really big thing. That's something that I really felt in the other mothers groups was judged, or that I was threatening people with the decisions that I made because they were different from decisions that they made for their family.
I think
So how many people? I'm sorry.
That's okay.
How many people are in your group now? Would you say? Do you?
the Marin branch has about 120 members.
Really?
Yeah. And then we have a Napa branch. We have San Francisco, Santa Rosa, Lake County. Yeah.
Wow, that's
We're hoping to
great.
get into the East Bay soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's grown from the first meeting we had at Ozzy's house. I think there was 5 of us.
Yeah.
So
Wow,
So there's a
that's
need.
incredible. So
Yeah.
how do people find you? I mean, if how did this happen from a conversation between two women to it growing? I mean, how long has it been in existence?
A few years now.
yeah, we
The
had
first year was a little slower, but
I would say that really active for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I knew some other moms from my birth class and got them on board for that first meeting. And then we just started spreading the word to other moms groups, to midwives and doulas and, you know, other forums.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
would
the
say
moms just kept coming.
Yeah.
I mean, they just keep finding us, and that really made us realize that this is a need and that moms are really looking for this type of community.
Yes, it sounds as though there is a need out there
Yeah.
for that. I know that when I was a young mom, I also felt isolated and alone, not having much family around, and it was difficult to make that connection with women and young moms who thought the way I did. So I'm kind of curious how social media enters into this in spreading your message or your mission. Do you use that a lot?
Yeah, we have a website. We use an online forum for communication, which is huge. A lot of our members can't make it to a lot of the meetings, the different meetups, because they're working or they're too busy. So they really utilize our online forum, just posting questions, getting feedback, whatever it may be. My baby's not, I don't know, latching properly on the breast or...
and even just venting. It's a place that when you have a bad day, you can, reach out to this community and know you're gonna get so much support. I'm always just so inspired by the support that, is given on our online forums.
Yeah.
We also have a Facebook page that's pretty active and a Twitter. So yeah,
Too. Wow.
we try to stay up with all the social media.
So what kind of events do you plan, or do you have family days, or what do you do as a group?
We have, first we have play groups. So because the Marin branch was the first one and the biggest, we have enough members that play groups are divided by age groups. So about, every 6 months we have a different group that is formed. So everywhere from the toddlers all the way down to the newborn group. So they meet weekly, which is a really nice way to meet face to face with the other moms and the other kids. And then we have family days, which are really fun because the dads come out and visiting grandparents and aunts. I mean, everyone kind of comes together and the kids play. And from family days, dads' nights out have come about where the dads have gone and brewed beer and played pool.
And the dads really like it too.
Yeah.
They like to meet other dads that have the same views as well. So
Yes.
And we have lectures. We try to pull in people from the community that can talk to our members about these topics that we're dealing with, from sleep consultants to we've had a marriage and family therapist come and talk about the challenges that new parents face and how to keep your relationship strong. Nutritionists, acupuncture,
Wow.
a lot of different speakers that can help address all these issues.
we have Mom's Night Out. We do.
That's a popular one.
That's we have a whole new mom program that includes the moms that have just had babies, and we do meal delivery for new moms or moms in need. So
The meal delivery is a great one. I just had a baby 5 months ago, and I had meals delivered every other night for 4 weeks after
Wow.
he was born, and it was amazing. I mean, it's a huge service, I think, that we provide our members, and it's a form of community. I think that's a big thing that why we differ from other moms groups is you really feel like you have all these other moms looking out for you and showing up at my door night after night with warm meals, and flowers. I mean, it really made me feel like someone, was there for me.
You're right. So it seems like you have the best of both worlds, in that you have the electronic or the social media aspect where you have the forums and people can write in their questions or venting or whatever, but you also have this personal contact and relationship building with each other, which to
It's
me
very
is
personal.
really important to have that
Yeah.
have that community and physical
Yeah.
support.
yeah.
I remember after one of our family days saying to you that I think something that makes us different is the moms, like, we want to know each other. We're not just sitting in a playgroup watching our kids play, which I've experienced before. We're also there to get to know each other, and there's an intimacy in our group that I've never felt before between moms. That we're there to build relationships with our families, not just talk about if your kid's sleeping, whose kid is sleeping better and who's eating better.
And how about the children? Are they Do they get along? Do they play well? And
That's funny because Charlotte and my son Enzo, Alicia's older one, Charlotte, they are like brother and sister.
Yeah. So yes and no.
Yeah.
But they've grown up. I mean, some of the members have been there since the beginning. You know, I mean, our kids have grown up together. So they fight and they play, but they love seeing each other, and they just have so much fun together.
So it's not just community for the parents, it's the children have their first sense of real community, which is awesome.
We've been able to drop, you know, kids off at each other's houses, which is a really great perk as well. You know, because we know each other so well.
Yeah.
We can have play dates, and I can drop off my daughter with Ozzy and go do things that I need to do, and vice versa.
Right. So, Ozzy, you mentioned before that you have chapters, I guess that's what you would call them, chapters in other cities. How did that happen?
Well, I was approached by somebody in Napa. Her name's Sarah Vietti. She's our Napa branch director. And she said that she was so impressed with the Marin branch and she wanted to do something like that. And I had been thinking about the idea of opening other branches because I feel like it's a need everywhere. So yeah, Napa was our first one, and now I just get emails from women wanting to open them.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's amazing.
So do you have, if I wanted to open up a chapter, say, if I were a young mother, do you have bylaws, or do you have some template to how the group is run?
We have documents. We are really strong with mentoring the branch directors. We don't ever want them to feel like they're doing it by themselves. The first couple of months can kind of be overwhelming trying to get the members to come, and we do a lot of hand-holding. So it's not that we just ever say, open a branch, here you go.
Right.
We have a lot of steps and, you know, procedures just to help them along.
Yes. Wow. So what does the future hold for the Alternative Mothers Group?
A lot.
Yeah. We are trying to finish getting our 501c3, which is the nonprofit legal filing. Getting over that hump and getting that filing is kind of where we're at right now. We want to open more branches all over the U.S. I don't think there will ever be an end kind of point to that.
Yeah.
Well, I think that this is such a great idea, and I can see that this is really going to grow for you. I mean, does it cost anything to become a member, or?
There is a $36 donation fee. Like I said, we don't take a profit, but all the fees that we collect go back into the group. So they help pay for different things.
Right.
You know.
Right. And the people who come for the lectures, are they coming as a donating their time, or they or do you have to pay them a
Up until
fee?
now, they've been donating their time. I think that we would like to get some speakers that are really well known, and in the future. And I think that once we open more branches, we'll be able to do that.
Yeah.
Kind of build a fund. So yeah.
Great. That's great. So, how would somebody get to get in touch with you or find out more about the Alternative Mothers Group?
Our website is alternativemothers.com. So they can log on to there and they can join whatever branch, or they can email us if they want to start their own branch at info@alternativemothers.com.
Okay. And if they were to Google Alternative Mothers, they would find you.
Yeah.
Okay, somebody has a pen or pencil.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you would like our audience to know about your group? It's a wonderful opportunity, I think, for women who have new babies, especially, to find a community to be with.
Yeah, I don't think that mother isolation and new motherhood is specific to just women like us. I think all new mothers feel isolated, and I think there's a real lack of community in our society. I don't think it's normal for a mom to be alone all day at home.
That's right.
You know, and
It takes a village.
yeah, if you
It
look
takes a
at,
village, yeah.
you know, what am I trying to say?
The other cultures.
Yeah, if you look at small villages in Africa or wherever, you're always surrounded by women. You're always around your mom, your aunt, your grandma, your sisters, and so I don't think it's normal for mothers to be alone the way our society has set it
Yeah,
up. So
that's very, very true.
yeah.
It's and the fact that families are spread all over,
Yeah.
you know, the country. I know when I was a young mom, my parents were in Florida, and I was the first mother of my social group. So I, you know, did really feel isolated. And it wasn't until my child was able to go to preschool that I actually started meeting, you know, moms. So
yeah.
this is really great.
Yeah.
Well, I really want to thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
I think what you're doing is just great, and I wish you both a lot of luck. I really think this is a great idea. Obviously, if you have 120 members already, I can't imagine what it's going to be like next year. Before we close, though, is it strictly word of mouth that you're, you know, letting people know about your group?
I think most of it is word of mouth.
We have a lot of like midwives that tell that, you know, share information.
Your midwives. You both had midwives and home births.
We had the same midwife, and I'm actually expecting my second, and I'm going to have another home birth.
Great.
Yeah.
So we get a lot of members that just found out from other friends, you know, a friend told me, and I think once moms find that there is this kind of community, they want to be a part of it.
They want to be a part of it, sure.
It just gives them strength because they don't feel alone in their choices.
They're not the only one going through this.
No, I'm not weird for making this choice. There are others.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, that's great. Well, thanks so much for coming tonight, and wish you both a lot of luck with your families.
Thank you.
As well as your alternative mothers group. It's really wonderful.
Thank you.
And I want to thank you all for watching, but I'd like to thank Rick Tucker and Leon Johnson of Novato Public Access Television for their technical assistance tonight, and also to our awesome Seroptimus International of Novato crew who are doing the cameras and directing and producing tonight's show. So thanks for watching. I'm Renee Roberts. See you next time.